There we go. I think we are live. Excellent. Done a whole bunch of new setup with the stream and all the tools that I've got playing around at the moment. So I think that I can see everything, and I think it is all live. Excellent. So today I'm actually going to kick off what's probably going to be a multi-part stream. Not quite sure how long it's going to take for me to do all the stuff that I'm going to cover off here, but basically I wanted to pick up this BlazingPizza workshop that the ASP.NET team have built for teaching people how to use Blazor, the WebAssembly from the .NET team. So how to use like C# or F# or kind of any .NET language, compile that down to WebAssembly, and then what if the mic is a little broken? Okay, maybe that's the music that I got playing in the background. Let me turn that off and see if that starts coming through any better. Like I said, I'm playing around with the setup, but I'm finding kind of like CPU limitations and stuff like that on my laptop. So yeah, we'll see what works and what doesn't work as we do a few more of these. But let me know if that's better, Adrian. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, I wanted to grab this workshop and see about porting it, because it's written as a .NET Core application using Blazor WebAssembly to then be deployed as an ASP.NET Core application into like an app service or a VM or something like that. But instead, I want to kind of flip it around and look at how we can do this as a static site, and then like potentially even deploy it into the Azure static sites that we have. Okay, I sound robotic. Let me just check. I think it's going to be, see if it tells me which mic I'm running. Yeah, it should be running on the default one, which we go explicitly in here and the podcaster there. Well, so that's then now explicitly set as the podcasting mic that I've got on the desk. But yeah, we'll persevere and we'll play around. Oh, okay, sweet. Well then let's play some music in the background, because that's what streamers do apparently, is they listen to music while they code. Weird. I wonder what mic it was originally picking up. Now I know that there's going to be a bunch of background noise because I've got a second device on one of my old Surface Pros that I normally use for monitoring, like the Twitch chat and things like that. But I turned it on about 15 minutes ago, and it turns out a Windows update has run since the last time I turned it on, and it is still finishing installing. So I'm like, okay, well that's fun. And the fan on that is going absolutely nuts. But yeah. Anyway, we're gonna pick up how this BlazingPizza application. Like I said, it's for like app services or VMs and stuff like that. Like that's how you deploy it. But like it's WebAssembly, right? Like you should be able to just deploy that as a static app, and then it's got a backend, which is a series of API endpoints that we hit. So I'd prefer to look at, could we just completely turn this into a static web app? Now, I have this already downloaded. I've forked it off and stuff like that. So let's just kind of fire it up. I have dug around into it a bit, but I haven't dug around into it too much. So yeah, let's have a look at what it does. And I've got it open here in VSCode. We'll just collapse it and kill off all the files that I've got open. So the Git repo starts, so it's got the SRC folder is where all the source code for it is. There's a bunch of save points, which are the core steps within inside of the workshop. We'll come back and look at documentation, all that sort of stuff as we're refactoring the code base. But my goal here is to really only change the back end of it and not like rewrite the front end or anything like that. So other things in here, there's some notes like for the person who's delivering the workshop and for people doing the workshop. And finally, there's just like the overall docs for the workshop and like what happens at each of those steps. So the save points are really like if you wanted to just jump to a particular place in the workshop, you can just open up the code at that point in time. But we're not going to do that. We're going to just run from the source folder, which is what I've got open here. I didn't open up the whole repo root. And we're going to go .NET run. So we're just, oh, that's right. I'm going to specify which project I want to run. So that's going to be the BlazingPizza.server project. Inside of here, we have a couple of other projects. We got the client, so that's the WebAssembly, or that's the Blazor UI, so WebAssembly or Blazor server, if it was done that way. We've got some like custom components that have been written. That's in across component library and Blazing components. And then there's some shared code, so like the DTOs and stuff like that. They're getting passed back and forth from this project itself. So really the one we start is BlazingPizza.server. So we go to server, and we'll do .NET run. Kick that off, and I'm just, given that my other machine has finally completed, let's hit my Twitch on that one. That way I can stop trying to look at my phone and see what's happening there in the chat. It's a little bit easier if I can look at it on the full laptop. And cool, there we go. Well, play with that like as things start up. But excellent, here we go. We are now up and running with the server. We have some lovely output. Let's grab, we'll do port 5001 on HTTPS. So everything should be HTTPS by default. I don't have the certificate installed, so we're going to get certificate errors, but I don't necessarily care about this. This is just localhost development. Right, okay. So we get a bunch of pizzas here. There's some register and login things. What do we want to go with? Yes, every kind of bacon. That sounds like my sort of pizza. All right. Oh man, I really want pizza now for dinner. Well, okay, so I can obviously change size. Yep, and that's reflecting on the dollars. I can add more toppings. Let's add more bacon. Ooh, Canadian bacon. Is there any other? No, what? Only 2 more types of bacon. Can I add like multiples of? No, I can't add like 2 extra loads of bacon. Well, cool. Okay, let's hit order. It's now on the sidebar. I'm assuming that I could. Let's be healthy and we'll add a vegetarian pizza as well. A little one. Yep. Cool. Order. Right. Okay. And then now we're gonna have to set up an account. All right. Let's go through here. We'll set up our account. Let's just not use a password manager. Actually, is that going to work? No. There we go. Password is the password because that's the bit. Yep. Doesn't have a real email sender. Normally, okay, you would get. Yep. So I mean, obviously, there's stuff in here that's because it's just a test account, or like just a dev environment and stuff like that. That's not fully spun up. That's cool. We can deal with that. Assuming that then confirmed by clicking that link. I guess so. If we come back, did I lose my order? Okay, well let's log in. At aaronpal.com and let's see. Oh shoot. Ah, well that's annoying. I lost my pizza. All right, we'll just chuck a big pizza in there. Next. Okay, sweet. And then yeah, I can chuck in some stuff in here. Fake street. NSW. Whoops. Place order. I'm pretty sure that's not where I live. I reckon it's geocoded just to work on the US. Right. Ah, sweet. Ooh, and look at that. The driver is walking on water. Or driving on water. Yeah, this looks... What country is it? Oh, London, yeah. Okay. So it's in England somewhere. All right, sweet. I guess that's how our app's going to work. Let's wait to see what happens when it does get delivered. I'm assuming it'll get delivered eventually. This is fun. I'm still really impressed that I'm getting maybe a drone delivery. Is that how they're bringing it to me? Because that or like a water taxi. All right, has it arrived? Did it? Oh, it says delivered. Well, there's no guy outside or no person outside my house with a pizza, so I guess it didn't really come through. Oh well, that's disappointing. I did kind of want a pizza, but seeing as I didn't pay for it and it was supposed to be delivered somewhere in London, I'm not surprised it didn't turn up. Okay, sweet. Well, that's essentially what the application does. And then obviously you can go through, do more orders, etc., etc. So let's now have a look at how we're going to turn this into a serverless application. So let's just terminate the server. Now, obviously this BlazingPizza server, that's the core thing that we're going to need to refactor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder and we'll call this ASP.NET. And I'm just going to move the server into the ASP.NET folder. And now we'll come up and modify things like this. So, I mean, I'm using VSCode, but if you're using full Visual Studio, you're obviously going to need to have the solution file updated. So I'm going to have to do this manually. We'll call that ASP. Actually, first off, I'm going to create a new branch. I just realized I hadn't done that. Check out a new branch, and we'll call this Serverless. Okay, sweet. There we go. But not. It is on my own fork and not on the main workshop Git repo. But it'd be better to do it in a fork on my own. Hey, look, my camera's got unhappy for a minute. Oh, did XSplit die? Looks like XSplit died. Let's fire that back up. Because you want to see my pretty face. Weird. Sometimes when you close XSplit, it will close the application. So XSplit is a bit of software I use to do virtual green screens. That's how I cut out around the back of my head and stuff like that, because I don't have a green screen to pull down behind me or anything like that. So it's just it's there. There we go. Okay, cool. There we go. That looks better. And then you can see my little bubbling head down the bottom there. Okay, so that's moved the server to there. At some point, I guess I probably should actually test to make sure this still works in VS. But I'm just going to be doing everything in VS Code. I probably need to update some of these references. So it'll be ... So go up an extra layer because that's where they are. Yep. Save that. Let's just do .NET build. Let's make sure it still compiles. That's probably a good thing to check. Alright. Compile from the server. Yep. Looks like it. Cool. I might have to go into the program. No. Startup. I wonder if I need to do something with the Blazor framework files to tell it where the Blazor output is. Possibly. Does Blazor framework? What about arguments to that? Well, let's have a look. bin. I wonder how it knows where the files are. I will probably have to Google this one. Yeah, it's just the settings for identity server and everything. Well, let's have a look. No, I don't think there's anything I can see specifically that tells me where the Blazor stuff is. So let's do .NET clean. That should hopefully delete all the files. And we'll do a .NET start and see if it, or .NET run, and we'll see if it tells me where things are busted at. Because that's the first thing we want to do is .NET run. Wait, well that's not going to work. Like, did I not? Did I not move those files? Where the heck am I? That file doesn't seem to exist anywhere. DD ... Did I like? Oh no! The pathing seemed to freak out a little bit because I moved files while I was in the folder and stuff like that. Well, that's better because I was just like freaking out for a second. It's like I've moved and I've somehow deleted everything. Git status. Yeah, okay, cool. I've only moved and actually deleted the rest of the code base. .NET build. I wonder why I was like, why did the build still work? It shouldn't have. Oh well. It's fun. Yeah. It's going well. All right. Oh, sorry. That's okay. Cool. It's built, and we go ASP.NET / that, and we do .NET run. Let's see if it still works. I assume it does. Looks like it. I mean, got a bit of. Have we set up the? Haven't got the server endpoint yet. No, we do. Okay, cool. Back to the HTTPS one. Yeah, sweet. Okay, cool. It's still running. We haven't broken anything majorly yet. Why that works? This is going to be in the project file, Blazing Server project. Oh yeah, of course, because it references the client project. That's why. And knows where. Okay, that's fine. makes a bit more sense. Cool. Let's kill that server, and we'll go back to the source folder and git add, git commit, and let's just commit moving ASP.NET backend to a new folder. There we go. And it should just be, yep, everything was renamed. That's all. Now we're going to make a new directory serverless. So we'll put all the serverless stuff in here. So for serverless, we're going to use the Azure Functions. So we'll go to serverless, and then so we'll just try and follow sort of the naming conventions here. So we've got like BlazingPizza.server. So I'm going to do BlazingPizza.functions. But I did a poll on Twitter the other day of whether we should do this as C# or F#. And while I'm probably not going to listen to the results of the poll, I should just at least check them. Last time I checked, F# was definitely winning. Let's have a look. Here we go. Let's have a look at the poll. Oh wow, yeah, F Sharp's totally won. So I'm actually gonna do both implementations, so that we've got an implementation in C Sharp, an implementation in F Sharp, but we'll do the stream itself using F Sharp, just because I prefer to write F Sharp anyway, and it's my stream, so I'm doing what I want. Now let's go. .NET New. I think I have the functions, F Sharp functions in here, don't I? No, maybe I don't have function install the function templates yet. Okay, well, so here's how we go about adding function templates. Tags F Sharp. How do we do it? Well, I go and read a blog post that I wrote about it because I forget how to do it off the top of my head. Okay, so it's this article, creating functions in F Sharp. We need to install 2 template packs. So I'm just going to grab first the item templates. So these are like the new file experience. So we'll install the item template. So like if I want to create a new file that has Q bindings or HTTP bindings and stuff like that, we install that one. And then we need to install the project template. So this is how we create the project. So we'll fire that one off as well. Put the D at the front. It's .NET, it's .NET, not .NET. And so that'll install. And if we just have a quick scroll around here now, we'll see things. So we see these new Azure Function templates. So that will create me the project, and we see that it supports languages of C Sharp and F Sharp. C Sharp is the default. That's why it's in the square brackets. At least I'm pretty sure that's why it's in the square brackets. And mostly because I just haven't got round to changing F Sharp to be my default language in the .NET CLI. I'm pretty sure that's in the .NET, the recent release, or maybe that was in .NET 5. I forget. .NET new func language F Sharp, and then we're going to do name. We'll do BlazingPizza. Wait, yeah, BlazingPizza. Dot functions, and we'll do that. We'll just put like a language denominator on the back because then we can do C Sharp ones as well. Okay, so it's creating that successfully. Cool, we're in the right location. All right, and of course I should have gone into a child folder to do this. That's all right. Let's just remove everything. Yep. And we'll make a new file, a new folder, which we'll call that. CD to there. Boom. Oh, no. Make directory that. Then we'll CD to that. And now we'll do .NET new function. .NET new function. And excellent. There we go. Now it's created. If we come back into here, have a look what we've got. Excellent. I'm just going to delete that OBJ folder because I don't need that anymore. I can probably delete that git ignore. Yeah, we'll delete that git ignore. Because there'll be one added in each of the Azure Functions folders. See, there we go. We've got the git ignore in here. So I'll just leave that. Actually, let's just leave the Azure Functions stuff, and everything else should be picked up by the top level git ignore. So just like the function specific stuff we'll put in there. I'll set up the C# stuff off stream. So that should be there for next time that we come and we stream. Now, I'm going to need to add this one to the solution file. So we can do that by coming back up to the source folder, I get the number of dots right. Find out in a sec. Yep, no. Yes, no, I didn't. Source. Yep. .NET, SLN, add, serverless. Cool. Add all of these in. Oh, just add this one in, I guess. Sweet, added to the solution. So at least in theory, if I open this up in a Visual Studio project, it should detect automatically. And we will do .NET build. Make sure that all compiles still. And we should now see an extra project in our compilation. I feel like things are getting a bit jittery on the stream. Anyone that's watching, let me know. Like, is it still coming through smooth or is it jittery? Because I'm seeing buffering on my other machine, but I think that the reason it's buffering is more likely because I'm running these things on the same network connection. Yeah. I mean, okay. Thanks. Yeah. Funnily enough, I get two messages from KP Faulkner saying that it's dropping a little bit. So did you drop sending the messages as well? Because let me just have a look. I think, yeah. So if I just throw up onto the top of the screen Task Manager, there's a process called VM-mem that's going a bit crazy. Like it's got a lot of memory dedicated to it. So that process is the thing that's running the virtual machine that runs WSL, WSL2, sorry, in this case. So I might just give it a quick reboot. Sometimes I see it spike off. So yeah, let's just kill a few things. So I'll close my VSCode instance. We'll open up PowerShell. So if you like, I haven't had time to dig into it properly of why I sometimes find like RAM spikes from WSL2. But all we need to do is not .NET. Maybe for next stream, we should look at running this in like code spaces or something like that. That way I don't have to use my machine until we get some better performance. Yeah, that could be a good idea. Anyway, WSL shutdown. So this will terminate WSL instances that you've got running. Now, if we hit Task Manager, I can already tell that's better because Task Manager actually opened up like immediately on request. You'll see I've gone from like an 80% memory usage to 50%. Yeah, like, okay, cool. So that should deal with some buffering issues. Now we'll come back here. We'll open up WSL2. We will then reconsume all of that RAM that we previously had. Let's open up VS Code while I'm at it. Let's pop that while it's running in the background. Then we'll go to, so what's this one? This is BlazingPizza Workshop source. And now my machine like falls apart as I like have to start up all the things again. All good. It's weird because I find this stuff happens more when streaming. So I mean, I think it's a combination of like the dozen or so bits of software that are running to like support streaming. So I've got OBS running. I've got the webcam, and the webcam stuff is then processing. Yeah. But it is what it is. I mean, possibly don't even need terminal running. Oh, we'll push on through for today. and I'll have a play around with it offline. And yeah, like I said, I think maybe I'll give a crack with code spaces. I haven't had a chance to really dig into that yet. Yeah, OBS is a massive resource hog. Like, I fully get now why people have dedicated streaming machines. Like, as soon as I fire it up, I feel the machine just grinding to a halt. But yeah, is what it is. If it starts dropping out again, just let me know, and I'll do a few more tweaks to adjust performance and whatnot. But we'll continue on where we was at. Interesting. I just noticed that in the F# Solution Explorer, it doesn't load the C# projects, which it's cool. I expect that, but it doesn't realize that the server project is actually nested within inside of the ASP.NET folder, but it does detect that the F# Functions project is inside of a serverless folder. I wonder if that's just because it doesn't load the project properly. I'll make that assumption. All right, so let's just do another commit point. Git status. Yep, cool. Just those files. Add and commit. Creating empty functions project in F#. There we go. Done. Started. Okay, it might be time to actually try and write some code. Maybe it's worthwhile starting up the web application so we can have a look again at kind of what it does. So I'm just great. Let's actually run the ASP.NETCore one so I can work out kind of where are the routes that we're going to have to hit, and whatnot. ASP.NET. There we go. .NET run. Because then we can kind of like pick them off piece by piece. Otherwise, we end up just... it'll be a kind of a dodgy port if we try and just do like the whole thing without thinking about what the individual pieces that we're going to be doing are along the way. And then we're also going to have some fun about... we're going to have to do some changes probably to the UI project to think about how we'll get it to run. We're probably going to need to do some stuff on the... maybe some VS Code launch tasks so that we can just hit F5 out of VS Code and run and debug everything. Because at the moment, obviously, I'm just using the .NET CLI to do that. Okay, so I think that obviously the first thing we're probably going to want to do is load the list of pizzas. So let's have a look at the network tab in the browser dev tools and we'll see what it does. So let's just reload. Fire off to networking. I'm going to assume this will be an XHR. And see what we get. Okay. So there's an OIDC. Well, no, okay, that'll be for, it's just for our OIDC auth. We're not going to have, definitely not going to touch auth today. Got to kind of think about how we would do auth for this because Azure Functions being serverless, like it doesn't have a way to kind of build in like an OAuth endpoint, like we've got with the ASP.NETCore one. So I think it might be running identity server behind the scenes, or maybe just the out of the box ASP.NETCore identity stuff. But it did have the social login side of it as well. Now we'll probably have to go down the route of either purely social login for serverless, or we'll have to like somehow shoehorn an identity server into Azure Functions, which I don't think is really a good idea. So we'll have to think about that one a bit more when it comes to it. So maybe we'll just focus on like an anonymous like checkout flow. That might be a good starting point. Cool. All right. Let's hit specials, because that's the thing that's really going to come through. Okay. So what's this doing? It's just hitting... it's hitting itself and hitting a route called specials. which then gives us a JSON, which is obviously those pizzas. And that will be specials controller, which will come and use the store context, and that's going to be store context here, which just setting up this is Entity Framework, isn't it? Yep, Entity Framework. Pushing all that stuff into there. I'm going to assume then that there's there's seed data. So here are our starting pizzas. All right, cool. What are we going to use as backend? Because if we really wanted to go down a proper serverless model, maybe we shouldn't be trying to store like a local database on the machine. We want a database we can connect to. Maybe again can take advantage of CosmosDB and see if we can get CosmosDB as the backend store for that, which will be fun definitely if I port this across to running in code spaces, because there's a CosmosDB emulator for Windows, which is a challenge for me anyway because I'm running in WSL, but you can map to it so that you can communicate from WSL to the Windows emulator and stuff like that. But then if we put this up into like a physically remote machine, like a code spaces or anything like that, then I'm going to need somewhere else. So we'll probably just stand up CosmosDB. I'll set a like a minimal tier 1 up in Azure and just use that as the test. That'll be cheaper than setting up a VM running the emulator. Yeah, it would be. Okay, cool. So we're gonna need the data, like that's something that we're gonna need in there. Whether we put that in, maybe let's start with static data. We'll just hard code it and it'll just return it when you hit the route. Then let's pull that data out and put it into the CosmosDB, and then we'll connect with Cosmos. We'll see how much of that we can get done today. I'm going to try and keep this at about 2 hours. That's why I've got a little countdown timer sitting below me. So we've got about an hour 20 left to go, because otherwise I could spend all day, and I'm sure everyone else who's watching has got other things that they want to do, not just sit and listen to me the whole time. Okay, so we want to go serverless. Oops, not ASP.NET. We want to go to serverless and then to here. We'll do .NET new. I forget the name of these templates. Functions HTTP tree. It's just HTTP. Cool. So .NET new HTTP, and we'll call this specials. And language F#. Now, I think that's right. Oh, no. No, sorry. Forgot to do, should have been dash name. There we go. Dash name. Yep. Cool. So I've created the HTTP trigger template. There it goes. Ta-da, we've generated our template here. The one thing to be aware of, when you're using the .NET CLI to do this stuff, it doesn't add it to the F# project file, and because F# requires you to include the file specifically in the project file, and then you have to do like the file ordering. Like that's the reason why they include them in the project files, because file ordering is impactful in the F# compilation step. You have to come and open the F# project file and do an update to that item group, and then we'll do close item group, and then we'll do compile include and what is like specials.fs. There we go. And the other thing that I will have to do is I need to change these to include, not update, in the F# project file. Include, not update. Because again, the way MS Build works with F# is that when it goes through and looks at the build, at the MS build file, or the project file, I suppose. It will detect the files that you want to explicitly include into it, and then have them included in the compiled output, or like the published output, which you need to do with at least the host.json file in Azure Functions. If you do an update, it will attempt to update an existing MS build reference to that file, and if it doesn't find that file already in its collection list, it will then fail. Now, this is something that I only learnt somewhat recently through the help of one of the Microsoft folk that actually works on this, and there's a GitHub issue that I can't remember what template, what project it's in, but where I kind of break down why that doesn't work and stuff like that. I'll see if I can find the issue, and I'll put it in like the show notes later if I can find it. But anyway, that's included in the compile step. Easiest way to test this, if I come to Ionide. Cool, so Ionide now detects that file is there. Apparently there's 21 problems with it. Fantastic. Eek. All right, let's go .NET build. That's right, it compiles. I'm going to ignore that it reckons there's errors. It's probably because the .NET extension for VS Code hadn't actually loaded in that all these files, these updated references and stuff like that. Let's come back. Or easiest way is we hit reload window. So I quickly finish off my breakfast of bubble tea from one of the nearby shops. Nothing like a healthy breakfast to start the day. All right, cool. That looks like it's much happier with me now. It is not throwing a whole bunch of red squigglies, but also the extensions haven't all loaded, so we've still got time. We've still got time for it to get angry at me. But I reckon we're all good. Fingers crossed. Cool. All right. Well, so this is there we go. I can tell that Ionide has fully loaded in because we get all of our little helpful tips of what the types are. So obviously we can probably determine that name was going to be a string, but this function itself, if we scroll across the side, we'll see that has a request and ilogger as the first two parameters, and it returns a task of action result, which is what we expect. Now I'm going to just go ahead and delete all of this code. I don't really need that. I'm going to delete pretty much all of this response message. Well, we could leave up to the response message. And the response message can just return that. Not really concerned about it having like a proper response message. We'll just go and say, hello from our function. Done. I don't really need the ilogger at the moment, but I'll leave it there because it might be useful for us to have logging at some point. Get rid of some dependencies that we don't require. We don't need JSON in there because we're not putting anything out. Namespace will be, I'm going to assume that they're just namespacing, in conjunction with the project. So it'll be BlazingPizza.functions.f#. And this module could be called specials because that's what it is. Specials function. The function suffix would be pointless. Well, let's go .NET. Oops. NetRun. Do .NET run? Will that work? Or do I need to use the function tool to start? Let's work out. I'm probably going to need to install the function CLI. Thought so. That's cool. .NET. No. npm i-d. I have this in a recent. There we go. Now, I'm not going to save that. No, I'm not going to save it. I'm just going to install it locally. So the guidance around using the function tooling is it's a little bit interesting because they say install it globally. And I personally don't like doing global installs of things because when you do that, you sort of it can cause problems if you're working across projects that require the same global dependency in multiple places. And I'm constantly spinning up like new function projects, and I've still got some functions that are running on the functions 2 host, and I've got some then others that are in the functions 3 host. So if I'm trying to work on both of them, it gets problematic because I start spinning up stuff, and like the functions 2 stuff, I now like try and force it through the functions 3 host. So I prefer to just do a local install and then use npx to run it, rather than do a global install and run it that way. But that's just more of a personal preference than something you like that is really a problem with the tooling or anything like that. Downside is that I do a lot of downloads of that functions CLI package. Okay. So now we should be able to go npx func start. We'll see if this kicks off and works the way that I want. Oh, I typed that incorrectly. Func start. There we go. Functions are starting up. Ta-da! And I reckon if we hit our API endpoint, it'll probably just blow up because, no, it worked. Yay! It's taken us nearly 50 minutes to get a hello world response from functions. Fantastic. Cool, okay. I'm going to assume that it also works on lowercase. Yeah, sweet. Because that's what the endpoint in the actual application will use. I can leave that running in the background, I'm pretty sure. And let's just modify this, save, and I think that just will force a recompile. No, bugger. Nah, it's all right. I don't actually need them running the whole time. Okay, where are we at? We're at seed data, aren't we? That's right. Yeah, we need to do this. Okay, so let's see, where's topping to find? That is inside of our shared project. Okay, so we may as well reuse these data types. Like, there's no point like porting literally every line to F#. We may as well use the shared project there. It's just going to speed up things, and it also means that it's a lot more compatible. And we show some interop between C# and F#. So .NET add project. Oh, I always forget this one. And then shared. It's not that. It's .NET add reference. Add reference. Ref. ENC. Yeah, I can spell today. All right, there we go. Sweet. Reference is added. Now, if we have a look at our F# project file, it is there. Ta-da! We have our references. Everything is starting to work. And then I'm going to come in and... Oh, I did actually generate a package lock file. That's annoying. Let's delete the package lock file. Yeah, we'll delete it. Don't really want it. Okay, cool. Done. And we are going to add a new file above this one. And we will call this mockdata.fs. And give it a second. There we go. Cool. And this is just be like we'll do it as an int private module module mock data internal. Yeah, into it. Is it module internal? Yeah. Just trying to remember the order of typing things out. That's cool. Okay, we're going to need to open BlazingPizza is it just BlazingPizza? Okay, it's just BlazingPizza. Mock data, we'll just open BlazingPizza. Cool. We'll let pizzas equals create a list. Let's just do that over to the split that right so I can keep that open. Just close off the Explorer on the side. Topping. Oh, don't tell me that's going to be bloody literal. Doesn't have a constructor, does it? No. Oh, this is. Well, that's somewhat annoying. Records. If only we had records. Let's put my headphones on properly. Or no, I'll take them off. I don't need to be listening to my own music at the minute. At least I'm not sure. I'm assuming the music is still playing. Yeah, it says it is. Weird. I didn't seem to hear anything for a bit. Doesn't bother me too much. Just need to take the headphones off for a bit though. Okay, so wait, what are we doing? I'm gonna have to. Because it's yeah, because I can't like just pass them in the same way that you do in C#, like that. Topping, yeah, so it knows it's going to be a topping list, but I need to set the properties of that. We go let's go let make pizza, we'll call it name price equals, and then we'll go why am I even looking at toppings? I'm not making toppings, I'm making pizzas or pizza specials. Let special equals pizza equals pizza special, and then we'll do that. So we got our pizza, and then pizza dot name. We're going to do name. I need name, price, description, and URL. Name, price, description, and image. And because I'm lazy, we'll do that. We'll do description, URL, image, description, image, URL, and then we'll do pizza.price, and that will be price. Ta-da! All right, and then we'll return pizza. All right, cool. It's a bit ugly, but it's viable. So we're going to do make pizza and copy and paste all the things from the other screen. No, close that. It's cheesy and delicious. Forget the keyboard shortcut. No, price should be 9.99. And image. Okay, great. We'll just do a couple of pizzas. We're not going to do all of them. Oh, it's got an ID. ID. Yeah. Pizza.id. that ID. So if you're not familiar with F#, the reason I'm doing the backwards arrow is because let me just turn the music down. Let's pop it to about there. Yeah, there we go. It's supposed to be ambient background, not blaring in your face. You don't want it to drown out me. You're here to listen to me, not to the background, like the backing track. Saying if you're unfamiliar with F#, the reason that we do the backwards arrow here and not like an assignment like you might be used to, such as an equal sign up here where we're creating the pizza, it's because in F#, if you're everything is immutable by default. So theoretically, this first property is actually immutable. But if we do want to change it, I need to be very explicit that I'm mutating a value. So I'm mutating the value that was pre-assigned to ID by using the backwards arrow. Basically, I kind of think of like, you're going to force this value into that field or into that like that local variable or whatever it might be, and kind of override it. Now we don't have to specify that pizza itself is mutable, because if I wanted to create new pizzas, I would do mutable. So you do like let mutable. So I don't have to do let mutable pizza because it's not the pizza object that we're changing, it's properties of the pizza object that we're changing. So you need to, the properties themselves are defined as mutable by the way that they're defined in C#. But you need to say that you want to mutate that property of it. So yeah, this is some of the stuff that can really trip people up when they're first coming to F#. It's like, well, wait, why doesn't that just work? But essentially that's why, is because you have to be very explicit about when you're going to be mutating a value versus when it's just an existing value that you're a value that you're never going to change. But I found like once I kind of got used to that sort of stuff, like it was really, really helpful to be able to tell when things change and when things don't change. Bacon. And just while I'm talking, I'm going to start copy and pasting the rest of the stuff that I need for this. I should the shortcut key for like move, split. Navigate. Quick. Navigate to view below. Navigate to view left or right. Yeah. I don't obviously have a shortcut key set up to that. I should. And then we go. Navigate left. There we go. Look at that. It's only a few more keyboard strokes, but that's all good. And then what do I want? I want pepperoni. Okay, we're just going to do 3 for the time being because that's a lot of copy and pasting, and I'm finding it tedious. Cool. I've got F# code format. Oh, what's the price of the pepperoni one? It's 10.50. 10.5. I've got an F# formatter on here, so that's why I hit save and it's going to reformat everything across a couple of new lines. Sweet. All right. Let's close off a couple of these other files that I don't need because I can use if I want to look at the C# stuff, we'll throw that on the right-hand side of the screen and not on the left-hand side. All right. But we need to open mock data. There we go. And we are going to let pizzas equals pizza. Cool. And then response message will be, we'll do pizza. So we'll respond pizzas to that. Oh, actually, yeah. Why am I doing a local binding? I can just like return it like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. And another thing you might be wondering, again, if you're new to F#, so you'll see here that I've got the async and then these squiggly brackets around it. This is the way that we do asynchronous programming in F#. It's quite different to the way you do it in C#. We use these computation expressions, and that's what that indicates. There's a whole bunch of different things that we can do. I've written some custom ones for other projects and stuff like that, but this actually returns me a type of the F# async, which is not directly castable to task of T. So we then need to use async, which is an F# module start as task, which basically converts the async of T from F# to task of T for C#. And that is what's required by the Azure Functions runtime. It needs it to be task of T or just directly returning like an iasync action result. So yeah, we have to do some additional casting to do the interop between C# and F#. But that's done. Let's come back to our terminal, .NET build. And then we'll start the functions host again. Give it a second. All right. Compilation should succeed. Sweet. npx func start. Can I run func watch? Can I run in watch mode? I have to go back and have a look at that in a sec. All right. Here's our thingamabobber. Let's have a look. Ta-da! JSON. And now I'm going to assume that that is actually the same JSON structure that I would get back from here. Let's just grab that URL. Yep. Name, base price, description, image URL, name, base price, description. Excellent. And it's all cased appropriately. Cool. So that's done. I wonder if we could plug that into the web UI. Let's have a look. Let's come back here to web UI. So the web UI is in BlazingPizza.client. It's going to be pages, or is it? Let's check the index page. Okay, cool. Okay, here we go. Get from JSON async. Yeah, that's just a standard one. Okay, so obviously if you don't provide like a full endpoint path, it's just going to assume that it's on the current host, which means that we'll come here. And we will go copy that. We'll paste that. We'll save that. We'll see. Does that? No. I think I need to kill and recompile this server. .NET watch run. I think that's it. Yeah. Yep, cool. I'll close off the URL view there. All right, I'm going to be excited. Like, if this works first time, I'll actually be surprised because nothing ever works first time. Is the watch server running? Let's have a look. Oh, no, there we go. Cool. Started running. We see the server is there. We'll come to tab 2. We'll hit reload. And we'll watch it go boom. I know it definitely has recompiled because we've got the things there. Specials. Yay! It's errored out. Oh, because I forgot to enable cores, of course. So it works fine in the normal server because it's all running on the same host. All right, I need to turn cores on for my Azure Functions. So we'll come back over here, terminate that. And this is something that I pretty much always Google because I can never remember it. So it's in the host. Or is it local settings? It's local settings, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to Google this. Azure Functions cores. So you can do host start with cores, but I don't want to have to remember to do that every time. Yeah, host core. That's what I want. Thanks, Stack Overflow. So in our local settings.json, we add a new thing that says for host, we say cores and just wildcard that because the only way you can do cores is you just whitelist everything none of this like, see what's going to happen. npx func. Actually, yeah, let's see if there is a watch. No. Start. No. Maybe not. Okay, cool. .NET. Yeah, let's just do .NET watch build. So we'll just watch that and we'll do build on every watch, and let's just split again. I'll be interested to see if if I change the underlying binary, will there be a thing that will that trigger off the functions starting it? So we'll go serverless and then to here, npx will run our func start. Actually, let's just double check. Start, yeah, no, start didn't have a watch in it, no. Oh, wait. So it does do a build on that? npx func start. No build, no, we'll leave it. That, yeah. I'm sure I can probably Google something that will tell me how to start functions host with a watch on it, but we'll just kind of see what happens. Yeah, sweet. Well, I was right. It didn't work first time. So let's kick it off again. There we go. Oh, it's hit. Yes! Almost first time. Great. Okay, cool. Well, so there is our response back. We're hitting the server. We're getting our pizzas. Cool. I'm assuming if I load up a pizza, yeah. So that's when it does the toppings call. So that's another API. So I wonder if the toppings generic. Is there anything past? No, it's the same set of toppings every time. I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same set in toppings. I think. Looks like it. Well, does that mean I can add bacon to the vegetarian pizza? Yeah. Well, probably. Don't see why not. I mean, just in general practice, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do that. All right, well, time for commit point. Lazing. There we go. Git status. Git add dash. Actually, no. I'm going to change the way the index. No, we'll commit and then we'll see if we can refactor it a little bit. Add dash a git, because I don't like that it's now hard code to only ever use the serverless one. I'd like a way that we could tweak that. So we probably want a setting that can do that. Git commit dash. Commit dash m, creating initial get endpoint for specials using static data. There we go. Okay. Yeah, like I said, the fact that the index razor file is now now it can only use the serverless backend. I want to see if we can change that. So let's go back to Explorer. I can probably set something in the config file, so in the app settings. I wonder if app settings flow through to BlazingPizza client. Yeah, they should be available. But I mean, realistically, we don't want to run the server kind of that much longer. We sort of want to be able to run it just off the client files itself. So then how would we do it? So we probably want a default, which is going to be or maybe a flag. Yeah, an environment like a config flag or like an environment variable that if it's set, that we'll use the server one. If it's not set, we'll use the built-in one for the server. So like if it's not set, we're probably just running it as static files. So we've done like a .NET publish on it. Otherwise, we'll want to set something. Yeah, I think that's the way that we'll go about it. So let's come into the app settings for the server. It's the identity server setup. So I'm going to assume there is something configured somewhere that. Oh no, the database is hard coded. That's right. What do we just hard coded here? Hard coded in the startup. Or is this? Let's see. Services dot add con. What if I do like on the fly config setup? Or do we just do like it should be? It's pulling config out of the JSON. Yeah. Okay. If anyone has a bright idea on how to do this, let me know. Because I'm like, I can chuck it in the app settings, or could I just hard code it in the server? Because like it's really only it's not the kind of thing that you're going to change. That's why I'm tempted to just put it straight in the the server configuration. I just want here's a global variable. Or here's a setting. Can I go configuration dot? Now, can I just like dynamically add something to this? Get section? No, I can't just add stuff to this willy-nilly. Because it's supposed to come from config files. Yeah, okay, well let's do this properly. Let's put it into the app settings. What will we call this? API use server API :true. Yeah, we'll just do that. And then I think I'm gonna have to Google is how to add the no, just looking at the program file, like is there something I could set there? Nah, it's just like configuring services. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to load up config stuff, I guess. Well, I suppose if I've just modified that in the file there, it's just this is going to be just like magically available to me. Navigation manager, and then we go at inject configuration. Is it configuration? Yeah, it is. That comes off here. Let's see if that will allow me to do that. Okay, and then configuration, get value. So I'll just do, I'm just going to be lazy, like just kind of dodgy at the minute. Right line, configuration dot get value of, what did I call it? I literally wrote that 30 seconds ago and I've already forgotten what it's called. At get value, doesn't it? I thought I had to like, oh, really? I thought I could, wait. I thought it had a get value property. What does iConfiguration expose? Ah, just as a keyed index. Of course, of course. Square brackets. All of the brackets. Okay, cool. There we go. Save that. Right. Okay, so that. Let's see if that's recompiled. Alright, so it's... An error on line 11 of program.cs. That seems bizarre because I didn't modify that file. Server program. Yeah, line 11. What's it, line 11? Or is it actually just really unhappy with me in the startup file? Let's trigger off a new thing. Nah, let's just restart the server. Force shutdown. Getting there. Getting there. Alright, so watch mode's up. Let's go. Come on. Server's up and running. Excellent. Let's reload. We'll have a look at the console. We should dump some stuff out. I should probably set up like proper debugging or something like that. Alright, so I'm going to assume that that didn't flow through because that's probably what that blank line is going to be in my... yeah, let's just do this properly. We'll go use server API. Oops. Plus that. There we go. Reload. Watches reload. We run here. Sorry, the compilation did restart, I'm assuming. Or is it only... Oh, it's only watch the darn server. Whoa. It's just... There we go. Wait, that doesn't make sense. We changed stuff in the... No, I did kill the server that time, yeah. Oh, well, let's go. Come on. Restart. All right, up and running again. Yeah, the .NET Start stuff's like the .NET Watcher stuff's great for the server modifications, but it's not helping me with the client. Yeah, okay, so that hasn't cascaded through. So I'm actually gonna have to load up the config file properly. ASP.NETCore config. Yeah, it's almost like we've written docs on this, and that makes my life easier. Settings.json. Yep. Configuration on that. Wait, did I create default builder? Yeah, with the args. Now, okay, so we need to come here. Okay, so I need to add the JSON file provider. Do I need... I'm possibly going to need... Like, app settings.json. Yeah, that's the stuff I want. Create app configuration. There we go. Let's just copy and paste, blindly copy and paste code out of somewhere. Where was that? That's in the program. That's in create app configuration. So that's on host.iHostBuilder. That's just something that they've is it? Where's host? Where's host coming from? That's a static. Builder. WebAssembly host builder. Oh, interesting. haven't really played with the Blazor server stuff, so I'm not surprised that I'm missing things here. Builder.configuration container, was it? Configure app configuration. Configure app configuration. Yep. There. So yeah, well, let's just copy and paste this whole line. Use startup, and that will be on builder. Now let's see, is that like a recognized member from something? No, I don't want to introduce local. Yeah, so it's not happy with that. Where am I at? Oh, I'm in the bloody client. That's why it doesn't work. Wrong file. Yeah, this is the one that I want to do it in. Oh, fun. That looks better. Hosting context, where am I getting hosting context from? That's going to come, great. Oh, because I've just put that in the wrong spot. Okay. Dot config app configuration, hosting context, comma build. What is it? Hosting context, comma configuration. Hosting context, nope. And then builder, was it? No, config. This I should have just copied and pasted in the end. So it doesn't like that. I gotta add that extension. Ta-da! Looks like we should now have that working. All right, so yeah, add the JSON file, reload on change, yep. And add the environment JSON file. Let's see. Start it. Okay, cool. There we go. We have compiled. Come back here. We'll reload the page and we'll see if it did actually work this time. Okay, loading Blazor app. Oh. That's annoying. Okay. I mean, it's what I called it, right? Yeah, use server API. Use server API, yeah. Because the configuration is on the server, not on the client. I feel like this is going in the too hard basket. After all that stuff to set that up. I wonder if I can get access to the hosting context within inside of the running Blazor application. No, because the hosting context is just going to tell me WebAssembly. Could do it with a compiler flag. I'd prefer not to use a compiler. You know what? This is going in the too hard basket for the moment. Because yeah, it's when the Blazor application starts up. I need to pass something to that. Let's have a look. Blazor hosting. Now there's a thing. Oh, hosting models. Yeah. Okay. Hosting models will talk about how the WebAssembly stuff runs. Yeah. And whether or not. Yeah. So if we just run it. So what we're doing is running. We're kind of running Blazor server to run the WebAssembly. So Blazor server is different to what we're actually doing. We're not fully following that model. So yeah, essentially where this project is run is it's an ASP.NETCore hosted Blazor WebAssembly project, which basically means so normally like Blazor WebAssembly is just a whole bunch of CSS, HTML, JavaScript, and WebAssembly modules, but you then need to put that on a server somewhere, right? You can host it in like a static site hosting, like static web apps, or on blob storage, or whatever it might be, or like just open the index.html file off disk, or you can host it inside of a web server host like ASP.NETCore or Express.js or whatever it might be. So the way this project is set up is that it's using the Blazor WebAssembly hosted template. So that's where the Blazor server, so the BlazingPizza.server project is, and then the client is separate. So you've got the client which contains the Blazor WebAssembly code. But yeah, well, we need to pass like a config through to that, and I'm not sure if you can sort of determine the hosting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig into that. Yeah. So at the moment, let's git status, check out all of them. Get rid of all those changes because they're not helping. Instead, we'll do something easy. Let's start implementing toppings. Let's keep that one up and running. So we don't need those open. We just need to implement some toppings. So we will create a new Azure function. We will come to source, serverless, and then here, .NET new. Damn it. Too quick in my typing. .NET new up. Not called specials. This one is going to be called toppings. We will need to add that to our fsproj file. It's toppings. There we go. So we're going to need this file open. No, not that file open. Toppings.fs. Did you find the file? No. Did you create the file, right? Oh. It's not how you spell toppings at all. Toppings. Topics, yeah. Near enough. Not really near enough. We'll change that to toppings. We'll change this to topping. Actually, let's do toppings. I prefer to have it lowercase so it just matches what the expectation is. Wait, I think I know why I've got all the red squigglies in here. It's because it's not in the proj file. So if we come here, bunch that down there, we go toppings.fs. Sweet. Loaded. Now this should detect that it's in a project file. Maybe if I close and reload it. It should detect that it's in a project file, which means it should detect the dependencies that are defined in the project file and cascade through. Find out shortly. This is BlazingPizza.function. There we go. .f#. Cool. So there we go. All the red squigglies have gone away, which is what we'd hoped for. Get rid of everything. We'll pair this back to just kind of like we had in the other one, which is just going to be the object response. And that will just be, yeah, that can do for now. Just dump out a dud message. Save. Sweet. Now we need to come back to mock data. Oops. Then we're going to go to this side here and let's start implementing some toppings. And we're going to have to do, we'll do a similar thing to make pizza. We'll create a let make toppings name and price. Do they need an ID? They do not need an ID. Does it auto generate me an ID or something? Nope. Awesome. So it doesn't. I wonder why. Probably generates the ID when it injects it into the database. So yeah, I might not need the ID long term in the. Actually, I'm not going to need this file long term at all. What am I talking about? But yeah, we'll probably have to have like a little tool that you can run to seed data into the database. Yeah, but we can deal with that. Again, in the future, I keep saying that we're going to deal with all this stuff in the future. And I'm just like, how many weeks am I going to have to stream this for? There's a lot of that's future Aaron's problem. Anyway, let topping equals. Wait, can I make topping? Topping, and then topping dot name will be name and name topping dot price. Is it price? Yep. That to price, and then we'll return topping, and we go let toppings equals boom make topping extra cheese, and that will be 2.5. Make topping American bacon 2.99 so we get the right data type. Make topping British. Hey, wait, there was 3 bacons. I missed. My bacon pizza could have had more bacon. 2.99 and this will be Canadian bacon. Just keep getting Homer Simpson in the back of my mind. Bacon, Canadian bacon. Yeah, cool. Okay, that's fine. That's enough for the moment. Where's toppings here? We will open mock data. That's better. And then we'll return toppings. Ta-da! So now, if we come back to probably, what file am I going to be editing this time? So let's have a look at that pop-up thing in here. So the index.json, it's going to be this configure pizza dialog, I think. Let's have a look. So your order, no, here's the pizzas, so that's the name. Yep, okay, so when we click on a pizza, it goes, order state, show config pizza dialog, order state is a dependency that we got passed in, I think. It's up here. Let's have a look. Navigate to doesn't work. That's annoying. We can go order state. Yep. And then what is it? Show configure pizza dialog. Yep, that's it. And it sets. Okay, so it sets a property here to true. I've come back to the Razor file. So that property is show configure dialog. My guess is that this templated dialog, it will show when show configure dialog is true. I think there's a built-in component. Let's have a look. F12 through that. Whoa, that search didn't help. P. That's not what I wanted. I wanted templated dialog. Oh no, it's a component that we've got written up here. Yeah, okay, so if show, it just pops up that div, and there's probably just some CSS and maybe a little bit of JavaScript that's doing the formatting and stuff of that. Okay, yep, easy enough. So that's in the Blazing components. I wonder why they didn't put it in the BlazingPizza component library. Maybe it's just to utility, so it's not specific. Anyway, this configure pizza dialog is going to be in the client project under shared. Okay. and then I'm gonna have a guess at, yep, so it's doing a get JSON async, so we're gonna have to hit HTTPS or HTTP, because at the moment that's on HTTP, not HTTPS, so we'll just hit that on the API, save. Does that reload? I can't remember if it does. No, we had to kill the server. Yeah, kill that. Start it up again. Come on. .NetRun watch. Watching started. Please wait. Yeah, killed the server halfway through. And you'll see that it gives me a whole bunch of sad errors in there because I killed it halfway through. Reload. Should have been started by now. Yep. Downloading everything. We've got our specials. Then if we click on here, oh, toppings 404. Because I didn't restart the functions host. Oh, so many servers to keep track of. Yeah, obviously changing the so when you obviously recompiling behind the scenes, which is what's done by the top left quadrant. So to recompile that, I should do that, no compile. Yeah, so that's happened up there. It's recompiled, but it hasn't actually updated the Azure Functions because it's not doing a watch and restart. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure that there's a way that you can do a watch and restart on Azure Functions host, at least locally, because I've done it. I mean, I know it does it with the TypeScript ones. Yeah, we'll have a look later. Okay, toppings 404, 70, 7071. What did I rename this as? Topping. Sigh. Like one keystroke, no build. So I'm going to do a no build on the function start, so that way it's going to start faster. It doesn't have to run the .NET compile. But oh well, yeah. Lessons learnt. There we go. Let's kick that off. There we go. No function jobs found. Oh. What does it? Oh, because it outputs to a different location on the build in here. I really need to improve like the command line experience for the way that like trying to run this workshop. Like the command line experience at the moment is obviously pretty rudimentary, but then again, we only really introduced like the secondary function server, like an hour ago. We'll more stuff for us to do in the future. Oh dear. Okay, let's reload that. I might have some homework in between sessions. So I'm going to do this each Friday at midday. We'll do about 2 hours. Just slowly chip it away at this project. But I'll do a bit of stuff in between. Hey, there we go. We've got topics. So you don't have to see, like, kind of put some magic behind the scenes of, the stuff that I'm not quite sure on or the best way to approach. But never mind that. We are now able to select pizza. We can add it to order. And then obviously if like we can step through and it's going to do all the stuff and because it's still got the other server behind the scenes. So that's good. So we've got toppings done. We've got the pizzas done now, but they're all hard coded on that. So let's come across, add a commit point. Yep, git add -a. That's all the stuff I wanted. Git commit. Adding toppings. Keep calling it topics. Toppings. Function endpoint. All right. So maybe now what we will do is see if we can, in like the last 20 minutes, let's see about setting up some place that we can do this in the CosmosDB backend. I'll just stand up a new Cosmos instance that hopefully that's going to not take too long. If it does, I'll just use one of my existing Cosmos instances. Yeah, but we'll come into here, create myself a new CosmosDB. We're going to create a new resource group. We'll call this BlazingPizza. Actually, always put my prefix on there and account name. We'll call this BlazingPizza local dev. Actually, no, we'll just call it dev. Because that way, like I said, if we move off elsewhere, it's not going to be too big a deal. Yeah, it's a non-production environment. Just leave it in the defaults. Now, do I need to sit anything there? No. Just going to tag it. Alias. Cool, there we go. Review and create. I'm just using the my work subscription, so just better tag it so that we know whose it is, even though it's got my name prefix throughout the whole thing. Better to be safe than sorry. All right, that will, like I said, hopefully not take too long. So with Azure Functions, what am I looking at? CosmosDB. So because we've got bindings for functions for Cosmos, but the question is, will the bindings be the right sort of ones that we want? So it's an input binding, so I can get it to input binding to a single item, which is not what I want. I don't want it to a single item because I'm going to want like all of the items. So instead, can I get it to input binding array? We'll have to think about, yes, sweet, I can do that. This is what I'm basically wanting. I want it to an enumeral, yeah, to a collection. Probably don't have to do that off the SQL query though. I can probably do that with multiple docs using SQL query, multiple docs using document client. No, I don't want to use document client, I don't think. No, I think I'm just going to use partition key. I should be able to do multiples with partition key. If not, I'll just make a simple query that queries off the partition key, but it'll seem silly if I can't do that. Let's have a look. How's my resource going? Still going. Maybe we'll start putting this in, and then hopefully it'll stand up the CosmosDB in the back end. Now, do I need to install a NuGet package? Yes, I will. I need to install this one. Although I'm using F# here, and like often with F# you'd use packet as a packet manager. I'm just going to use the normal package references and stuff like that. I'm kind of in mixed opinions on whether or not I should use packet for projects. Like sometimes they make a lot of sense. So it's like some projects I will use packet, but it can add a lot of big overhead, I find, in certain scenarios. So I tend not to. The same with using fake as a build script. Like I don't have anything complex enough that we're doing in here that you want fake in there. And also because like this workshop isn't, here's how you can do like everything with F#. It's more looking at like, here's how you can implement the backends in different style. That's sort of the approach I want to take. So I will, I'll just use kind of more commonly found, I guess you'd say, .NET stuff. So that's why I just chuck it as a package reference, because otherwise you end up with like yet another bunch of like command line tools that you got to work with. So .NET restore. So we'll just add that package. We'll just restore it. Cool. Won't leave that running at the moment. Don't need it running. And instead we'll keep view on where we need to be. It's still creating my resource. That's fine. We'll get there eventually. Get multiple documents, yeah, we'll just keep that reference point open because that's where we'll need to be. Close off seed data. We'll start with specials because that's the, do I want to do specials? Yeah, we'll use specials as our starting point. Keep the logger there. We're going to create a new variable, which will be a new argument, which will CosmosDB. So it's the CosmosDB attribute. The name, we'll just call this pizzas, and that will be pizza. No, what is it? Yeah, pizza special list. Open BlazingPizza. Close off mock data, and that'll just work, right? Sure. What could possibly go wrong? I really wish it would hurry up. Database. So yeah, we'll have to chuck some stuff in a config file, and I will do that in a way that you're not going to read my connection string information. So that will come into localhost. We will create a Cosmos. Comment there. Cosmos connection string. That can go there. I need to add some arguments to this. What is it going to be? Database name? Database. No. Database name will be database name. Can I do it like that? No, I need to just hope they're positional arguments on the CosmosDB attribute. Let's have a look. Damn it. That will be there. That'll be there. Oh, this comma. Now that is where it's going to get. I'm going to have to have a look. They will be called connection string. So what is it? Database name and collection. So this will be BlazingPizza, and the collection will be pizzas. Actually, yeah, we'll just call it pizza. Then we're going to need connection string settings equals that. So that's where the connection string will be. We're going to need to provide it with, what was it? It was partition key, and that will be pizza. Yeah. Actually, no, we'll do specials. Yeah, we'll call it specials. We'll use that because you might have more pizzas that aren't specials. No accessible member CosmosDB that takes 2 arguments. Argument name construction. No, it's that connection string setting. Setting, not settings. Should have just copy and pasted the code and then reformatted it for F#. But no, not done that way. Oh, come on. Like, my deployment's still not done. That's tedious. Wish the deployment would hurry up and finish. I want to test this out. I want to see if I was actually able to make this work. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cheat a little bit, and we're going to go and copy and paste that. Let's just chuck it over here. And JSON, Control KD, is that format? No, format document. There we go. Okay, so so the ID, yep, and we'll do partition key specials, and we're going to chuck that onto each of them. Yeah, That should be good. I don't actually need that like partition key to come back anywhere, like because we're just going to hard code that data and when we send it up, so that's easy enough. And when I write a little script that will generate like push all the data initially to Cosmos, we'll just use the JSON packages that come back from the proper server implementation, so that we can streamline this a little bit. I wish this deployment would hurry up and finish, so that we can actually test to see whether or not we can connect to CosmosDB. But we're also almost out of time. I knew I should have set up Cosmos earlier. Anyway, how's like, you know, those of you on the I was just about to ask how everyone's doing on the chat, and like, have you found it interesting enough so far? But then of course it finishes. So I mean, you can still answer the question. That's cool. But I am in the process of trying to like, let's see if we can get this last little bit finished. So BlazingPizza and pizza. So we'll create a new container that will be called what is it? Database name, collection name. Yeah, BlazingPizza. Yeah, just like tiny. Container name will be pizza. Partition key can be called partition key because I am super lazy. Okay. So that will set up this new thing. So for the CosmosDB, I'm using the SQL API, not the GraphQL. Sorry, not the Graph API. Not GraphQL. It's just normal graph stuff, or MongoDB, or like anything like that, because then the queries can be kind of analogous to the way that the queries are implemented for the entity framework side of things as well. Just makes it easy that way. So let's go items. We will create a new item, and we'll come back over here. No, not the local settings. We'll come back over here. We'll grab this item. We will hit save. ID must be a string. Of course it must. I forget that. We'll save that. Ta-da. Pop in a couple. Now you can do like bulk uploads. So if I save this to a file, I can do like a bulk upload of it. But because I've only got 3 items here, it's easy enough to just do it this way. Oh, damn it. I just updated the wrong one. Forget that you want to do this. You can't just use the same thing to save. You actually overwrite. So there we go. And then we'll do a new item again for number 3. If anyone's wondering, I don't know how I didn't know about this for so long. But Windows V shows clipboard history. Like, it's been there for goodness knows how long, but I just had never realized. So that's how I quickly got back to the previous one. Windows V for keyboard history. Put that one in your muscle memory. Sweet. Okay. Now, so that has been created. I am now going to copy and paste in the connection string that I need for this. So to do that, I am going to move all the things that I'm working on off screen so that I don't accidentally expose my connection string information on what is being a recorded video. But invariably at some point I'm going to like alt tab to the like the local settings.json file, and you'll see it there anyway. But no, hopefully not. Okay, there we go, back to the data explorer. Let's come into here. So I need to do .NET. Oh, actually, I'm not going to run .NET there. So we're going to restart the functions host, and fingers crossed, with 5 minutes left on the stream, we'll have actually hit CosmosDB and pulled the data back down. Like, it's not going to work, is it? Let's be realistic. It will fail for me, and I will be very sad. And it would have been a nice story to round out the day. Oh, sweet, we got a compilation error. Because it doesn't like iron numeral. Seek. I think it's seek, not because list doesn't translate direct to iron numerable. I want this as seek. No, as a seek. I think that is it. But just in the background, let's go F# I enumerable. So I know that, yeah, it's seek, yeah, of course. Okay, compilation. I know that I can see kind of out of the corner of my eye what's happening on the stream. It's just like this mad flip of tabs and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just I just wanted to check while it was compiling and starting up. Oh, it looks like it might have worked. Before we hit it in our app, let's just fire up specials in the browser. It's the API endpoint. It's going a little bit longer. I hope that's a good sign. Oh yeah, did that has come from Cosmos. I'm pretty sure like that'll be it, yeah. What's the easiest test? Let's come in here and let's just edit the items. Oh, like work first time. Let's just go smiley face on the end because that's the easiest way to do it. It's not Control S, hit update. And then come to BlazingPizza, we'll reload. Naturally, it'll take a little bit longer for the specials to load in because it's got to go out. Yes, look at that, the Baconator, Baconatorizer, whatever. It has a smiley face on the end, so that means it has actually pulled it straight down from CosmosDB. Booyah! I am so happy that worked. And first time, it literally just, you know what, 3 minutes. Because I'm now super excited, we are going to try and do it with toppings as well. Toppings, we will come in here, we'll chuck this new argument in, hit save. We will not use, that will be topping. We'll punch that into there, and this will be not called pizzas, it will be called, too far deleted, we'll call that toppings. We can then remove mock data. And then the partition key can be toppings. So we're actually going to use the same collection in CosmosDB rather than using multiple collections. This is kind of a performance sort of thing. You don't really need to create multiple collections. If you've got small amounts of data, they're really just differentiated by partition key because you use the partition key from a lookup standpoint. And because CosmosDB is schemaless, it just sort of works. Okay, now we'll come back down to here. We need to get back our toppings, so we'll grab this JSON response. Maybe what we'll do is we'll save this one. No, we'll just do it one by one. Format document, because they're only fairly small. But we will go, partition key, and then this will be topping. They're all topping. ID, this can be 1. And that can be, we don't need to do that. We'll do 3 and 4. Copy that. Whoa. Wrong form of Alt Tab. New item. Hit save. New item. We will hit save. What's the count? Oh, I've got 1:36 on the stream. Save. New item. Let's not replace any of the existing ones. Save. And then last but not least is the Canadian bacon. Canadian bacon. Let's spell that correctly. New item. And hit save. All right, there's 4 toppings. We have refactored our function, haven't we? We've done that, so it's on, wait, did I call it topping or toppings? So it's a topping. Yep, save that. Let's restart the functions host and do a recompile. 50 seconds on the clock. I mean, it's not actually going to stop the stream as soon as I hit 0 minutes. It's just more to keep me on track so that you all aren't here for like the entire afternoon. Because I'm now like, yes, I've got stuff working. How much further can we push this? No. I do actually have other stuff I probably need to get to today. Okay, back to BlazingPizza. We will reload. And we'll know that it has worked if we get Canadian bacon, not Canada bacon. Like, no, that N is going to be important. So we're getting it from the specials. Okay, that's... Oh, well, that's annoying. All right, so I've got a bug in the way the partition key is... I'm going to actually have to have a read up of how that partition key property is used by the CosmosDB bindings, because like, what it's doing obviously is maybe it's looking for a field named partition key rather than the value of the partition key. No, that doesn't make sense. Topping, yeah. Yeah, because then like if I hit toppings, we'll see back here in the response, yeah, we get the pizzas as well. That's not right. Well, it didn't work properly. That's depressing. But oh well. I kind of get the idea. Let's commit this. We'll push it. If anyone wants to have a play around with it, they can have a look. But I'll see about. I'll do some research into why that binding didn't work the way that I expected it to work. And then we'll fix that probably next stream. Unless it's super simple to fix, I'll leave it for next time to work out why. So let's just do git status, git add -a, git commit. Yeah, it's not including my. I don't read my message. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Tofu. Like I haven't read the messages. I'll let me just do this commit and then I'll answer your questions. So what are we committing? We're adding Cosmos bindings to get data, not static data. Cool. We'll get push -u origin serverless. All right. Okay, so Tofu Lux asked a question around around CosmosDB and like the schemaless nature of it. So to be honest, I don't have a huge amount of experience with Cosmos. I've been trying to learn it over the last couple of months on a few smaller projects. I do like the kind of flexibility of it, particularly because a lot of the stuff I'm doing with it so far has been like JavaScript based. So the notion of schemaless does work well for me, but it isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea. I like the way that you can do sort of this partitioning approach with the schemaless nature of it, that you can dump everything inside of a single collection and use partition keys to determine the data types and then set relationships between them. So you can do some sort of performance optimizations. You can do data denormalization a lot easier, given the schemaless nature of it. What I haven't had a chance yet to do is try it out with like a more complex application where we've got data models that evolve over time, because then you've got potentially data that you haven't upgraded to work with the new data model, and then how does that work? Do you end up with corruption in your data and stuff like that? So it's sort of thing that I've still got to like try out a little bit and sort of see where that fits in the style of applications that I'm building. But yeah, I like CosmosDB so far in the way that I played with it. Like coming from a SQL background and a Mongo background, it's very easy to to program against. Like I haven't had to learn new query languages or anything like that. So like by and large, I've found it working pretty well. But it hasn't. I haven't hit enough of a complexity in project to work out where some of the painful points might be. So yeah, there's still stuff to for me to work out. But yeah, I definitely check out schemaless stuff, whether it is Cosmos or Mongo or any of the other NoSQL sort of databases. Yeah, they're decent enough for the use cases I've hit so far. But it's always good to check out that sort of stuff as opportunities to learn, because they're going to give you a different perspective on the way that you can work with the design an application, design the data for an application. But anyway, I'm going to wrap that up for today. Wrap up the stream. It's just ticked over a couple of hours, so yeah, I want to go have some lunch and let everyone else get back. I'll post the video of this on YouTube as well. If you've missed any of it and you want to catch up again on where it's at, check out my YouTube channel. But here's the Git repo that I've just pushed all the stuff to. So it's github.com/aaronpowell/blazor-workshop. And then there's the serverless branch. That's where we've been putting all the commits today. So if we check out that, and then I'm still trying to work out the new Git UI. There it is. If we come through the commits, we'll see that's all the stuff that we've done today. So you can kind of just see like the slow evolution that we've had over the course of it. But yeah, otherwise, I'll be back midday Sydney time next Friday. We'll pick this up again, and we'll keep chipping away, and we'll see if we can't get it fully ported across over the next couple of streams. Yeah, like I said, I don't know how long it's going to take, but we got it to the point like much further than I thought we'd get to today. So excellent. Thanks for dialing in. We'll see you on another stream in the future.